Lowell High School, he went to Stanford University, he went to Cal, he studied and also was an instructor at the California School of Fine Arts, now the Art Institute. He taught at Mills College, he taught at CCAC. In every possible conceivable way, Diebenkorn was a Bay Area native. The only thing he didn't do was pitch for the Giants, but maybe, you know. And so he really is someone who's deeply imbued with both this natural landscape and the cultural landscape, as we'll talk about as we walk through the exhibition. And Diebenkorn himself said, you know, you have no idea what the atmosphere was like at that time in the art world in general, and here in the Bay Area in particular, when he said it allowed of no backsliding into figuration. That was his term, no backsliding. That to be a figurative artist in this era, when you had to pick sides and you were not allowed to operate in any kind of middle ground, which is, I think, one of Diebenkorn's great accomplishments, is to operate in that middle ground between abstraction and figuration, that indeed you could not backslide into figuration. You had to toe the line officially. And so the idea that anyone would then look at your painting and say, well, I see a pig or a horse or a cow or a person, after months of effort in your studio, of course, could be quite problematic. So much so that a work that's reproduced in the catalog that actually depicts a boy riding a horse, Gretchen Diebenkorn Grant said when it first appeared in their house, right at the moment when Diebenkorn is going to switch to figuration, she knew and could see it was a boy riding a horse, but she wouldn't say it out loud because it simply wasn't permitted. In late 1955, makes the break from abstract expressionism. He said, you know, I could do almost too much. It became too easy and I had nothing to sort of push up against. And he wanted something to push up against, and that became figuration for him. And this is really a remarkable painting. He's got in his car, he drove out in the Berkeley Hills, took this little portable canvas, and there it is. That's the first one. But it prefigures so much.
In this work, Diebenkorn really manages to very seamlessly merge a representational subject with the kind of raw gestural brushwork and emphasis on the formal properties of paint and canvas that are really a kind of hallmark of abstract expressionism. He had a kind of lifetime fascination with unusual or elevated vantages, and I actually argue in my essay for the catalog that this is something that may have been somewhat innate but was really reinforced by his experiences working as a cartographer for the US Marines, which really gave him experience depicting terrain in this kind of flattened, highly abstracted manner. And for Diebenkorn, the views that he saw from the plane were a kind of artistic epiphany. He describes being knocked out and thrilled, really taken by this sense of the landscape as, again, this sort of patchwork of forms.
Exhibition for me, both Emmett and I in our essays try to emphasize, as I said, that this is not a clear-cut delineation, bifurcation between abstract expressionists and figurative works, but rather an oscillation back and forth. He said that the abstract figurative stick, I've been all over both ends of that stick and all over the spectrum in between. And so it's interesting because this is a painting that has both a sort of representational side and a very abstract side of the kind Emma was talking about, the flattened landscape of the aerial view from the civilian airplane flight that he took and so forth. To embrace figuration and reinvigorate it and sort of give it new validity and new meaning that actually was relevant to modern, otherwise seemingly existential experience in life was really an extraordinary accomplishment. So I think it's that ability to oscillate back and forth, to work in the interstitial areas between abstraction and figuration, and to take what it seemed to be two opposing camps, politically, culturally, artistically, polemically, and sort of reconcile them and sort of make peace between them within the framework of his own work is one of his great accomplishments, and what makes him truly a figure of local origin and sort of influences one of truly national and international stature.